Welcome back to Bloodstained Backstories. Today we've got a chilling case that blends glamour, Hollywood dreams, and a terrifying reality.
Yeah, this is one of those cases where beauty and fame met with obsession and violence. We're talking about the tragic story of Dorothy Stratten, a Playmate of the Year whose life was stolen by the man who was supposed to love and protect her.
And what makes this case so haunting is how quickly it all happened. Dorothy went from making ice cream cones at Dairy Queen to Playboy Mansion royalty in just a couple of years, and then it was over in an instant.
Let's start at the very beginning and walk through her life and her death. Dorothy Stratten was born in Vancouver, British Columbia on February 28, 1960. She was the oldest of three kids born to Simon and Nellie Hogstraten, Dutch immigrants trying to build a life in Canada.
She was this shy, sweet girl, the kind you wouldn't expect to become a celebrity. She worked part time at Dairy Queen while she was in high school.
And that's where she met Paul Schneider. He was 26, older, slick, and honestly not the kind of guy you'd want your daughter dating.
Yeah, he was a club promoter, and let's just say his reputation wasn't great. Some even described him as a hustler or a pimp.
Snyder quickly took control. He convinced Dorothy to pose for nude photos and sent them off to Playboy. But because she was under 19, she needed parental consent.
And here's the heartbreaking part: her mom signed the release for her. That one signature would set everything in motion.
By August 1978, Dorothy was in Los Angeles, chasing opportunities with Playboy. She became a finalist in their 25th anniversary Playmate Hunt, and soon after, she was chosen as Miss August 1979.
And not long after that, she married Snyder in June of 1979. He wasn't just her husband, he was also her so called manager.
Which really meant he was controlling everything. But Dorothy? She was glowing. Hugh Hefner himself believed she could make it big in Hollywood.
She started landing acting gigs, small roles on Fantasy Island and Buck Rogers, little steps, but she was making moves.
Meanwhile, Schneider was, well, being Snyder. He even got banned from the Playboy Mansion at one point for hooking up with another playmate.
Imagine being that reckless when you've got a rising star as your wife. Even Hefner warned Dorothy to leave him, but she didn't.
In March 1980, Dorothy went to New York to film They All Laugh, directed by Peter Bogdanovich. And during filming, she and Bogdanovich started an affair.
Now, this was more than just a fling. Dorothy started falling for him, and for the first time, she started to see life beyond Paul Snyder.
Meanwhile, Schneider was unraveling. He played chauffeur, acting coach, and manager, basically smothering her. People around Dorothy noticed how tense and unhappy she was.
And when she tried to keep him off the movie set in New York, he started getting suspicious. He even hired a private detective to spy on her.
On April 30th, 1980, Dorothy was officially named Playmate of the Year. She got $200,000 in cash and prizes, including a brand new Jaguar sports car.
But Snyder couldn't even let her have that. He ended up selling the car for quick cash. That's how desperate he was getting.
At the luncheon, Hefner praised Dorothy's beauty, intelligence, and sensitivity. Dorothy thanked him, saying he had made her the happiest girl in the world.
She probably meant it in that moment, but behind the scenes, her marriage was crumbling.
By summer, Dorothy had moved in with Peter in Bel Air, though officially she held an apartment in Beverly Hills. Snyder, meanwhile, was spiraling.
He was broke, selling off all her prizes, and obsessed with getting a gun. He tried several times, even asking his detective to buy one for him. Eventually, on August 13, 1980, he managed to get his hands on a shotgun.
That same night, he made these creepy comments to friends about playmates who had died young. He even mentioned Claudia Jennings, another playmate of the year who had recently died in a car accident.
He was practically foreshadowing what he was about to do.
On August 14, 1980, Dorothy met Schneider at his rental home to discuss their separation. She even bought $1,100 in cash to start a settlement.
Her manager begged her not to go, but Dorothy wanted to handle it herself. She told people Snyder was being nice about everything and she wanted to remain his friend.
She was only 20 years old and still so trusting.
Later in the day, Snyder shot Dorothy in the bedroom of his home. He then turned the gun on himself.
When his roommates came home, they assumed the couple just wanted privacy, but by 11 p.m. they discovered the truth. Dorothy and Paul were both dead.
Her life gone, just like that.
News of Dorothy's death devastated everyone around her. Hefner broke down. Peter collapsed when he got the call.
Dorothy was cremated and buried in Los Angeles. Peter chose an inscription from Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms for her headstone. It read, the world kills the very good and the very gentle and the very brave impartially."
Peter tried to honor her memory. He re-released They All Laughed in the 90s, pouring millions of his own money into the project, but it failed, and he eventually declared bankruptcy.
He never really recovered. When he passed away in 2022 at the age of 88, he was buried right next to Dorothy.
Dorothy Stratten's story is tragic. She had everything ahead of her: beauty, talent, opportunity, but also a husband who saw her as property, not a person.
It's a harsh reminder that control and obsession in relationships can turn deadly. Dorothy's story isn't just about Hollywood, it's about what happens when someone refuses to let go.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Bloodstained Backstories. If this story moved you, please follow, subscribe, and share the podcast. Your support helps us continue to uncover the dark truths behind these bloodstained stories. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, behind every glamorous story, there may be a bloodstained backstory.